Hey everyone, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley. This is your first time on my channel. Well, welcome. And we're going to work on and learn how to create KDP covers. There's a whole playlist that I'm going to be doing. You can check it out, my playlist. It's about creating KDP covers. So creating book covers in various forms and various ideas and different ways you can do it to make your stuff stand out. So the presentation previously, if you have seen it or if you've not, you can go back and look at my playlist. We created this fun little unicorn dreams activity book or whatever cover in Canva, and that's the final result. And this one I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to do that creating a main character and then fun like borders on this fun spine that wraps around and like edging and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing to do is size. If you didn't see that previous video, go and look at that. But this is kind of my cheat sheet, and we're going to do the same exact size. So we're going to do an 8 by 10, 120 pages. So my width is 16.52, and the height is going to be 10.25, and the spine is 0.27. All right, so those are the numbers, and this is kind of my cheat sheet. So I try and make things within generally these sizes so that I can kind of have templates created, or at least I can use this cheat sheet, just print it out, and that way I know that if I have an interior, let's say I have an interior that's like 99 pages. Well, that's fine. I just add some note pages into the back or something like that till it's 100 pages. So you don't have to have it exactly. You can always kind of add a few pages to make it one of these sizes. All right, so I'm going to put this over to the side so I can see it, so that when I go through I can show you. All right, so here I'm in PowerPoint. I like doing it in PowerPoint because it's one of my favorites, because I have a lot of control over things. I'm more familiar with it in the Canva, though I've made quite a lot in Canva. I'm very familiar with it, and I actually can write my own macros, and so that's another reason I like to use it. So, all right, let's start. Here is the page. What you need to do is create the right size, right? It was at 8 by 10, and it's going to be 120 pages. So we're going to go over to Design. I'm going to click Design, and you're going to click Slide Size, Custom Slide Size. And remember, I wanted it to be in inches. I want it to be 16.52. And then my height is going to be 10.25. And it will just change that into inches. All right, now I'm going to hit OK. It doesn't really matter at this point which one you click because there's nothing on there. I'm going to highlight that, and I'm just hitting the delete button to make a nice clean page. All right, so this is the cover template. Now, if you remember, it said the spine was 0.27. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start out, and I'm going to insert a shape, and I'm just going to kind of insert it in here, and I can create it the exact size I want right here. So it's 10.25, which was the height, and I'm going to do it 2.7. And you can see it's like this little tiny thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it to the center, so that there's the center line that comes up, so it's centered. Something I'm going to do is, what I always do is my shape outline, I go to no outline, just because in case I change the shape color, the shape fill, or whatever I do, I don't have to fiddle with the outline, so if I decide to change it a few colors. And that happens. But this is my spine, and this is where it's going to be. Now, the edge, let me show you my cheat sheet, move it back over here so you can see it. The edge, you have inside margins and outside margins on your cover. The inside margin is important, but it's the outside margin that is really important. So we're going to set that outside margin so that I know where to center everything. And that was 0.25. So I'm going to right click, there we go, grid and grid lines. I'm going to add a vertical guide. It's going to add one to the middle, and that's fine. I'm just going to add another one so that I can see the next one. The next one I'm going to move, oops, got that. I'm trying to grab the grid line here. Let me make it a little smaller so I can actually get my grid line. Okay, There we go. Now I can grab my grid line. So it's going to be at about 8 right there. That was 0.26 instead of 0.25. Sorry, I'm going to make that bigger. But that's going to be close enough so that I can center between where my spine is going to end up. Actually, I'm going to do I'm going to make this overlap, so it'll end up being this edge, and this I'm going to basically center everything. That may not make sense yet, but it will make sense in a second. All right, so what I'm going to first do is, one of the things I like to do, I like to hit the Design tab, and I hit Format Background, so I have this come up. This is really nice because it just gives me a lot of things I can do in this Format Background, I guess, area or tab that opens up, and I can do a lot of things in it. So I like to have it opened often. All right, so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this with a background, and so that is what we're going to do right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill with a picture, and you can actually just drop it in, and then you're going to insert a picture source. And I guess click it again. From File. Now I've set up this kind of file with a bunch of different examples and things we're going to use. And so I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to use this guy as my main little character. Isn't he cute? I just found him and couldn't stand it. I wanted to use him for something. So I think I'm going to start with this pink. We're going to try the pink to start. So I'm going to insert that. And I've got kind of this nice, like, fun linen background. You can get papers. I use a lot from Creative Fabrica, but there's other places you can download them or buy them. But Creative Fabrica, I love. And then Hungry JPEG is another one that I like to buy papers and images from. All right, so there we go. We've got kind of a background. I insert it. And if you want, like, you can do different things. This one isn't going to work with the tile because it's got an edge. But something that's got a seamless pattern, you can do that, and maybe it'll change it a little bit. But as for this, I'm just going to uncheck and put, just have the whole paper across. All right, so now I've gotten that. I've got kind of my background. I'm going to insert a picture. I'm going to insert from this device, and it should be this guy again. I'm going to drop my main character on here, and he's a little PNG file. Oops, I gotta hit insert. Here he is. Isn't he cute? I think he's so cute, so I decided to use him. So we're going to center him between this. Oh, excuse me. I will edit that out. All right. I'm going to center him between this line right here and between my edge. But I haven't gotten my edge yet, so we're not going to center him quite yet. We're going to keep him over there, and I'll fill with this size in a sec. So what I actually want to do, instead of having this box exactly like that, I'm going to try insert, and I got these kind of edges that I found that I thought were really fun. So this device, and I have these downloaded, these little iridescent brushes. I thought these were really fun and had a lot of color. He's kind of a lot of blue and kind of sparkles, so I'm going to use this one right here. I'm going to insert that. To go like this and make it kind of fill the whole thing here, and I'm going to widen it, and then one of the things I'm going to actually do is drop that because I don't want that like that. So you can use brush strokes, you can pick a pattern, you can do a lot of things. I'm going to have this kind of extend a little bit more. I like that it's kind of a fun color. Now what I'm going to do so that you don't have to do this, I just do this because I like to have it kind of clean. I'm going to hit crop and crop my edges. So then I just hit crop again. So I have kind of this fun pattern background. This might look a little too reflective. Maybe that wouldn't work, but I kind of like it to start. But you could do something else. Let's try something else instead of him. Maybe I'll delete him and we'll try another one. So we're going to insert pictures from this device. What was one of these that maybe looked a little better? Maybe this one? Maybe iridescent brush. Let's try this one. This doesn't have that kind of sparkle feel. maybe it does, but it doesn't look quite as, it's going to suggest things. I don't like when it suggests things. Okay, so I'm going to recenter that. That's kind of fun. But you could find something, whatever you want. These were just brush strokes, but you could have a pattern you could put in here. You could just have a solid color. But I wanted to do something a little bit different and show you that you can create something a little bit different. Okay, and then hit crop. So I was cropping that. Now something else you can try, why I like this format picture, is I like to add some depth and shadow to things. There we go. I kind of like, see how that adds like a shadow and gives this, and I'm going to add a shadow to him as well. It makes him kind of stand off the page. So how I did that again is I clicked on him, I clicked on presets, and right there. And so he kind of gets a little extra. Now, so what you're going to want to do is center him between this line, that edge here, and then this border that is actually going to wrap around, because remember we had that 0.27, that was the actual spine. This is going to be bigger than that. You can make it as big as you want, just kind of center it, and this will wrap around. And let's make him, move him over to about there, and we're going to move him down a little bit. Okay, so we've got kind of a main character, and now you just want to insert some text. I don't know what this book would be called. I'm not sure what this would be. So I'm going to insert text, I'm going to center it. Maybe it's a productivity journal for cat lovers. So you could put like a saying, like times a ticking. And then I'm going to make it a different font. So I have all these different fonts I've downloaded here. I want to get kind of one of my favorites that's kind of a scripty one, is that you can read really well. Let's do that one. That's not actually scripty, it's more like handwriting. But we're going to make it bigger. Times a ticking. And then let's add some shadow to it. Remember, I love our shadow here. Times a ticking. And do I want it black? I think I want it kind of this a dark. Let's try this blue. So I want to show you something you can do. So you're going to click on here, you click the eyedropper, and we'll see if we can do it like this kind of. That doesn't stand out enough. So let me click it again, and let me try one of these dark grays. Maybe it's like a gray purple. Still not dark enough. Let's try one more. Let's try over here. It's kind of the black, but it's a gray black. Yeah, that's nice. It kind of matches. And so you could pick that, and so times a ticking, and we'll say this is like a productivity journal. So let me insert what I would want maybe the subtitle to be. So insert text box. I'm going to do the subtitle down here. I'm going to do it in that same font, Balton, which I just used. I'm going to do it that same color I just picked, that kind of blackish right there. And I'm going to put a productivity journal for cat lovers. Okay, I'm not sure if that's exactly what you would want, but you know, you pick your journal, your title, your subtitle. I'm just trying to show you an example of something that's kind of fun. And it would definitely be different and interesting for the user. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. It's not big enough, and I'm going to up. You can either pick what size, or you can just kind of keep going up. That's not too bad. I'm going to see if I can go all the way wide. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to center. I want to get these three things all lined up. So I clicked all of them. I held shift down and clicked each one. And then, so I held shift down and clicked each one. And then I'm going to hit align, and I'm going to hit align center. So now these are all the same, and I'm going to move them over until they feel centered between this and this edge right here, right? This is where it gets cropped off for printing. So you kind of want to, it really centered between this and this border that you've created. All right, and I'm going to add that shadow again over here. There's another shadow you can add over here. Sometimes I add both, sometimes I add one. This one, I like it like this. All right, so there you go. You have a cover created, and it's kind of fun. And it's, you know, like the Cheshire cat, and there's like a clock. I don't know. I thought it was cute. But you could create all sorts of different things. But this has some texture and definitely a character, and it's bright. And you want to make sure that whatever fonts you use are really easy to read. So sometimes what I will also do is I'll go like this and make it tiny and see if I could read it. Now I might not be able to read this subtitle, but I can definitely read Time's a Ticking. Okay, so you want your title or whatever you want it to look good small. Oops, that's too small. But that's maybe what it would look like on their phone, right, on their mobile device. So it's good to kind of see if it looks okay like that. Now, well, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit File. I'm going to hit Save As. And I'm going to, you're going to pick wherever you're going to save it. I'm just going to save it to Documents. And then I'm going to, you can save the PowerPoint presentation, right? You're going to save this. I'm just going to save it as cat, save. Now, what you're also going to want to do is save it so that you can use it. So I'm going to hit Save As. I'm going to go to PDF. Cat is fine. I usually label them like cover so that I know it's cover and it's 8 by 10. So I kind of do that so I kind of know it's a cover, it's an 8 by 10. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit More Options. You have to do a little bit more to save it in PowerPoint, not a whole lot more, but a little bit. You have to go to Save Tools, Save Options, Advanced. I know you're thinking this is a lot, but once you do it a million times, it's not too bad. So you go to Tools, Save As, Advanced, and then you're going to go down here and take this to make sure it says 300 or more, like 330 is fine. And you're going to hit OK, and then I'm going to hit Save. And it'll think about it for a bit, and there we are. It is saved. So let me get it and I will show it to you. Alright, so I opened it up in PDF. If I can move it over to this screen. There you go. It is your book cover saved, and it's bright and it's colorful, and it's wasn't too hard to create, but it's got a lot more interest than most people's. It's got the background that's got the kind of linen texture. It's got a fun wraparound, border. It's got a fun character. You've added some depth by putting shadows on not only your character, but also on the font here, on the wording, to kind of make it stand out on the page. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know what questions you have, and I will see you next time on this channel. All right.